Hey, Shalom, Akim. Shalom, Shalom. All right, this is your brother Zakar Ya'Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit, and Lord willing, to be edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, is laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, or remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. All right. I don't have too much lined up. All right. Just wanted to go into this article right here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe another article, because I was just browsing the news. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much. It's so much happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to keep track on all of it, you know what I'm saying? All right. And to do a lesson on all these things, you know what I'm saying? All these different articles, these different events that's happening, you know what I'm saying? I would be here for at least an hour, 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? But like the elder apostle Tahar says, you know what I'm saying? If you miss a day, you miss a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you miss a day, you miss a lot, man. You know? But this article in particular comes from endtimeheadlines.org. All right? And it reads, China conducts second day of military drills around Taiwan. All right? And as we get into all the time, the Lord is mustering the host of the battle. All right? You see what I'm saying? There's multiple fronts. Okay? Now, America may be trying to wash its hands, you know what I'm saying, from the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. All right? And that's why you see these EU nations, you know what I'm saying, getting pissed off at America, because it's like, you straight up abandoned us, you know what I'm saying? And Russia ain't backing down. All right? You know what I'm saying? Trump is not on Russia's ass to come to the negotiation tables. You know what I'm saying? All right. However, he's on Iran's ass. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, we're gonna have these talks, and if they fall apart, then we going in your house and we're gonna tear up some shit. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, this is the Lord mustering the host of the battle. Let's get that. All right, in the book of Isaiah chapter 13. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts, Yahawah Tazabawath, mustereth the host of the battle. All right. The Lord of hosts, man. All right. And the scriptures say that he will stir up like a man of war. All right. So you got the war with Russia and Ukraine. You got the war, that's about to brew up between United States and Iran. All right. You got the situation that's happening between China and Taiwan. All right. And all these nations are stepping into their final positions for the or stepping into their positions for the final act, I should say that. Okay? Because expect there to be like multiple war fronts. All right? And America is far too stretched apart to deal with all these different conflicts. You see what I'm saying? Let's say if NATO and the EU went after Russia. All right. America doesn't have the manpower to go and protect the NATO states. You see what I'm saying? As if they even would, because that Article 5 doesn't even fully account for America anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because they're leaving the NATO. All right, the NATO alliance. But then what else? Let's say these talks with Iran don't go as planned. All right. Which Lord willing they don't, man. You see what I'm saying? But let's say it doesn't go down the way he wants. And Benjamin Malachowski, all right, starts to take shots. And then, what's Trump gonna do? Trump is gonna back him up. Well, who's to say that while that's happening, China won't take Taiwan simultaneously? Do you think that United States will be able to deal with China and Iran at the same time? You see what I'm saying? And then, of course, Russia is going to go and back up Iran per their agreement. So that means that the United States has to deal with China and Russia and Iran at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget Kim Jong-un. He's gonna want to get up in there too. All right? It's gonna be a big old rumble. All right? The Lord mustereth the host of the battle. So let's get into this article a little bit. It says China conducted a second consecutive day of military exercises around Taiwan. All right, simulating port strikes and intensifying pressure on the self-governing island. These drills, part of an operation dubbed Straight Thunder 2025, have drawn international attention and sparked concerns over escalating tensions in the Taiwan Strait. According to the statement from Senior Colonel Shi Yi, a spokesman for the People's Liberation Army, cited by Financial Post, the exercises took place in the central and southern parts of the Taiwan Straits. All right. I want to do something real quick. Let me look up the word for straight. So let's go to the etymology of this word. All right, so the word for straight, let's see. The word for straight, it means narrow or confined space or a place, especially narrow passage or passage between hills. All right. In reference to a narrow passage of water connecting two larger bodies. All right. Here's another definition for the adjective of the word straight. It says, often in plural straits, the sense of difficulty, a plight, usually plural. All right. So, it can be used in two ways. All right, one to define a narrow passage or a narrow road. All right, like Yahawah said, choose ye the straight gate. All right, go down the straight gate, man. Go down the narrow passage. All right, it says small is the way to the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Narrow is the way, and broad is the way to destruction. All right. Just roughly paraphrasing that. But also, when you go into the word straight, it means difficulty or a plight. All right. So going down that narrow road means we're going to have to go through tough times. All right. We're going to have to go through a rough passage to get to the goal, to get to the finish line. See what I'm saying? So, I just want to highlight that word real quick. It says the drills tested the PLA's ability to enforce a blockade featuring precision strikes on simulated targets such as ports and energy facilities. All right, so this is going to be very coordinated. It's going to be very precise. All right, it's going to be well ordered. You see what I'm saying? While America is preoccupied with everybody else, you see what I'm saying? Because they can't mind their business. All right, and Trump is on a path of a maniac. Okay. Well, it seems like this would be the opportune moment for, for China to act. You know what I'm saying? There's no optimal position better than now when the greatest enemy is preoccupied. Right? It says this follows the first day of maneuvers that already showcase China's military capabilities, signaling a clear message to Taiwan's leadership under President Lai Ching. All right, Lai Ching-te, whom Beijing views with strong disapproval. The Edge Malaysia reported that these exercises are part of an unprecedented wave of military pressure aimed at Taiwan, with China flexing its muscles in response to perceived provocations. The inclusion of port strike simulations suggests a focus on disrupting Taiwan's economic lifelines, a tactic that could cripple the island's trade-dependent economy in a real conflict. All right? So now you got to think about that. Like I said, the enemy is occupied right now. And not only militarily, but you got to think about what's going on economically, right? Economically, America is on a roller coaster ride, you know what I'm saying? To say the least. And there's this whole trade war, this tariff war and whatnot. You see what I'm saying? The question is, what happens if China pulls the plug, man? So let's go to another article and then we'll close this out. Bear with me. All right. It's from the same website, endtimeheadline.org. And it reads, what would happen if China dumped hundreds of billions of U.S. Treasury bonds overnight? That's something I want to look at. That's something I want to see, man. I definitely want to see that. You see what I'm saying? And the scriptures say that there's going to be a time where your money ain't going to mean nothing. Right? All this that we've been prophesying, that we've been telling you is going to happen. All right? And it's going to happen soon. See what I'm saying? Let me get this here. All right. Let's go to Habakkuk. I believe it's in Habakkuk. All right. So this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 6. It reads, shall not all these take up a parable against him? All right. Who's that him? It's talking about America. All right. It's talking about America, man. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? All right. And what did this place, Babylon the Great, aka America, what did this place acquire? All right. It acquired lands, it acquired resources, it acquired different governments. You know what I'm saying? When you look up the book by John Perkins, you know what I'm saying? Confessions of an Economic Hitman. You know what I'm saying? All right. It tells you the different exploits that America underwent using economic hitmen to get these things pushed. And then if that failed, they would use the jackals. If that failed, they would use the military. And we have seen this these three phases. We've seen these phases take place, you know what I'm saying, amongst Iraq, amongst Libya. You see what I'm saying? with Iran when they took out the Shah. You see what I'm saying? And you just see it over and over. You saw it in Haiti. All right. This is how they get down, man. This is Esau, man. This is these Edomites. This is what this passage is talking about. All right, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6 again. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. All right, that word for thick clay is talking about it's the Hebrew word ibatyat is talking about heavy debts, man. All right, ibatyat. So heavy debts are laid upon this place, and they don't have, all right, they don't have the equity that they need. You see, or shall I say the capital, all right, that's necessary, because these guys carry all this money, all right, or all this debt, I should say, all this debt, because these are IOUs that China holds. You see what I'm saying? So imagine waking up to headlines that China just dumped hundreds of billions of U.S. Treasury bonds overnight. The markets are in free fall. Imagine that. The shit that you saw a couple weeks ago, man, with the stock change. You see what I'm saying? That's gonna be child's play in comparison if something like this was to happen, right? Imagine if they did this overnight. The markets are in free fall. Mortgage rates spike by breakfast. God damn. God damn. Your mortgage will spike by breakfast. And your 401k just lost 20%, man. All right. And we saw people lose billions. You know what I'm saying? People were losing their 401ks. All right. And that was just because Trump had announced a tariff war on the world. You see what I'm saying? And the stocks was plummeting. All right. So imagine it, man. Imagine. Hey, man. It's crazy. Far-fetched? Maybe. But if Beijing ever decides to weaponize its $760 billion in U.S. debt, this hypothetical becomes a very real economic earthquake. And in a time when America is already on shaky ground, after years of runaway spending, record inflation, man. Go to the store, man. Any of you guys been to the superstore lately? The supermarkets? All right, you've been to the supermarkets. Have you seen more than 10 people walking around with those large carts? You see what I'm saying? Point to at least 10 people who's walking around with those large carts and they're actually full with groceries. You see what I'm saying? Look at it. You'll be hard pressed to find anybody walking around with those large carts. They're walking around with those small carts with the two sections. All right, the two little basket parts. You know what I'm saying? You got one cart at the top, small little cart at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? All right, and everybody's just pinching pennies. You see what I'm saying? Talk about inflation. Talk about inflation. For the amount of money that you would spend on, let's say, 10 items. 10 items, depending on what they are, will probably bring you up to close to $100, even more. You see what I'm saying? Back when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying, in the 90s, you take that same $100 and you walking away with two large carts full of shit, man. You see what I'm saying? That's two, and you're not gonna be able to make it with all those groceries in one car. You're gonna have to hope that you brought your cousin with you. You know what I'm saying? And both of y'all are packing those groceries inside both your cars, man. All right. That's how much inflation we got today. You see what I'm saying? Record inflation and foreign policy confusion under the former Biden administration The idea of China pulling the financial trigger isn't just a thought experiment. It's a warning shot. All right? It's a warning shot. So imagine, right? Imagine if these Moabites, you know what I'm saying, decide to take a trip to Taiwan and finally get shit popping over there. All right? Imagine if they did that. And then at the same time, simultaneously, they pull the plug on the Western markets, dumping all those billions of dollars worth of bonds, those IOUs. So now it's time for you to pay $790 billion overnight. You see what I'm saying? When Uncle Sam is on life support. You see what I'm saying? Imagine the chaos, right? It says how China got a loaded gun pointed at our economy. Let's back up. For years, the U.S. has rallied on countries, or Slovakia has relied on countries like China to buy its debt. Right now, Beijing holds roughly $760 billion in U.S. treasuries, second only to Japan. All right. And recently, Japan, China, and South Korea came together as an economic force in response to those tariffs that Trump had imposed. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, what happens if not just China dumps these bonds, but what if Japan does the same thing? All right. The devastation, man. All right. All of this happening overnight. All of it. Overnight. It's crazy. All right. But the Lord said he's going to come suddenly. All right. Suddenly. See if I can find that precept. Let's see. You know what? Oh, shit. I'm right there. It's still in the same book. All right. Still in the same book. Habakkuk chapter 2. All right. That's funny. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 7. All right. It happens. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 7, it says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? All right. So yeah, man, in the very next verse, that's the spirit, man. You see what I'm saying? The very next verse. All right. So imagine this was to come upon them in such a quick succession. You know what I'm saying? And all this while America is stuck in this in this tug of war. You know what I'm saying? Militarily. All right. So now you got to deal with with defending Taiwan and going against Iran, and you broke. You see what I'm saying? And you broke. Right? That would be crazy, man. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, the city and all that dwell therein. All right. So let me see. Let's go to Proverbs. All right, Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 14. Salak. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 14, it says, frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. All right, he soweth discord. Okay, this is that same devil that went from one nation to the next nation, to the next nation, to the next nation. You see what I'm saying? All these different countries subjugating the people, you know what I'm saying? Taking resources and whatnot. All right. Like we got in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 8, right? Because he has spoiled many nations. You see? But it says, frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. All right? Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. This place is out of here, man. It's out of there. All right, it's out of there. You see? So it says, let's back up. For years, the U.S. has relied on countries like China to buy its debt. Right now, Beijing holds roughly $760 billion in U.S. treasuries, second only to Japan. That massive stake gives them not just influence, but leverage. Think about it like this. China isn't just holding our IOUs. They're holding a financial weapon. And if they ever decide to unload it, the repercussions would be felt not on Wall Street first, but right where it hurts, on Main Street. It's not going to, oh boy. Let's get this here. Let's go to Ezekiel, man. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7, man. All right. Oh boy. Imagine $18 a gallon. Holy shit. Ezekiel chapter 7. And let's hit verse 18. It says, they shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them. And shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon their heads. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. And their gold shall be removed. Right? Jokers ain't going to be caring about your silver and your gold, man. All right? Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord, Yahawah. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Let me get that in NLT. All right. Okay, this is Ezekiel chapter 19 in the NLT. Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 19. In the NLT it says, they will throw their money in the streets, tossing it out like worthless trash. Their silver and gold won't save them on that day of the Lord's anger. It will neither satisfy nor feed them. All right, in that day you can't eat gold, you can't eat silver, you can't eat, you know what I'm saying, a dollar bill, man. All right, all that money that Floyd Mayweather be flaunting. You see what I'm saying? He'll starve before he'll ever find any use for those FRNs, you know what I'm saying, the Federal Reserve notes. He'll starve. You see? It will neither satisfy their hunger nor fill their stomachs, man. You see? So it will neither satisfy nor feed them, for their greed can only trip them up. So, hey, man, you know, it's like it says right there, man. It's not going to hit Wall Street first. It's going to hit Main Street, man. All right, it's gonna hit Main Street. You see what I'm saying? The everyday person that goes and works a 9-to-5 job, you know what I'm saying? All these individuals, these women that's getting on TikTok and all that, you know what I'm saying, complaining that they lost their jobs or that they're still working in 9-to-5s, you know what I'm saying, 10-hour jobs and whatnot. All right. And they're still not even be able to scrape by and all that stuff. Oh, my children ain't eating. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna get hella crazy out here. It's gonna get real crazy. All right, and Lord willing, Lord willing, these Moabites pull the plug. That'll be legendary. All right. So yeah, this is a good article. This is a good article, man. All right. Let me read a little bit more. It says, let's say China doesn't go nuclear. Instead, it slowly sells off treasuries. Month by month, investors notice interest rates creep higher. Suddenly, a 30-year mortgage doesn't cost you 6.5%, it's 8%. Auto loans, credit cards, all up. Businesses cut back. Growth slows. All right? But as we read in the scriptures, this thing is going to happen suddenly. It's not going to be gradual, man. It's not going to be gradual. It says it's death by 1,000 cuts, and you won't read about it on page 1, but you'll feel it every time you check your bank balance or swipe your card. All right? And that's not going to happen. It's not going to be gradual. You see what I'm saying? This is going to be sudden. All right? It's going to be sudden. It's going to be rapid. You see what I'm saying? This reset is going to happen. They're going to bring down this economy. You see what I'm saying? They're going to bring it down. But that's the first scenario, a slow burn. Second scenario, the big bang, full-blown dump. That's what we looking for. Bring it on. Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawashi. Bring this thing on, man. Now imagine the worst case. China fires the big gun and dumps a huge portion of its treasuries overnight. Markets panic. Bond yields spike. The dollar drops like a stone, like a rock. The Fed scrambles to contain the fallout, but it's too late. Interest rates skyrocket. Inflation goes from bad to unbearable. It goes from bad to unbearable. The government already buried under $34 trillion in the hole has to pay more just to stay afloat. Welcome to the new recession. And this ain't no recession, man. We've been in a recession. You see what I'm saying? We've been in a recession since 2019, man. All right, this is what people don't tell nobody. We've been in a recession. What we finna enter into is a full-blown depression, man. All right. It says made in China. And this guy got jokes. This guy got jokes. Welcome to the new recession, made in China, enabled by the economy, all right, or the economic mismanagement of the Biden era. Here's the thing. China doesn't even have to sell. All they have to do is threaten to sell. Just a hint of it could send tremors through the markets. That's the kind of leverage you don't put in press release. You whisper it in backroom talks while negotiating trade, Taiwan, or military tensions, man. All right. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get into that. All right. But it's going to affect everything, man. It's going to affect it's going to affect your bank accounts. It's going to affect the food supply. I mean, all these things that's so intricately connected. All right. One thing relies on another thing. And if you take away that one thing, it causes a domino effect. All right. Take away any one of these components. It'll cause a downward spiral, man. All right. So yeah, man, I just wanted to touch on that. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakar Allah. branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Yahawadah, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.